to get over it.
It's very contingent for me in the mid lane matchup. But I think the DK, the draft to me makes sense, right? That the Trundle is on its way, and he is level 2. Shield?
Oh my god, he's igniting him! And there's the snip, needs to flash.
This is not what I was expecting.
What did he have for breakfast today?
Wait, there's no flash.
No, what?
There's no flash.
The stun comes through, but he only needs one more. The dash doesn't come. And so Shield... Jamaica just going to be able to eat a whole bunch of that red bar. Ignite goes down once again as Shiu does land a lot of this needlework. Dashes forward, stacking up the snips. There it is! And they close the gap. Shiu gets first blood!
On Ivern, who would have known? T1, I like this counter punch. Immediately play for Drake, as they should.
Well, Showmaker is just going to be able to dive on top of Faker here.
He is falling behind pretty substantial in CS though.
Yeah.
But again, we should have a really hard time in late game. I don't think they have great tools of locking down this smolder.
Not to mention the fact that there's a Gwen in the game.
And this is where you really feel the nerfs to Gwen. Right, the reduced slow is actually a big deal.
It is. He's so calm. A lot of inclusivity there.
There is no TP for either, so they shouldn't be able to join.
All right, the setup's there for the Ivern, and there's the trigger seed. They get the heroic charge as well. And boom goes the Trundle. Mum comes down as well. And Gumayushi's level 6 has the Feather Storm. But I think the weather's looking pretty clear for DK as Doran having to get out of there. Daisy's upset. And DK in a phenomenal position at the start of Game 5.
Yeah, I don't really know how to parse that, Atlas. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. They're gonna go for the dive on Doran. Showmaker still has ult. He can just take aggro.
Exactly. And Doran is going to be able to press his dominance button, but that is feats of warfare secured as Smolder collects the kill.
No, we shouldn't be blinding Trundle.
Yeah.
I mean, Doran doesn't get to play the video game here, right? As a Shield might be in trouble.
All right, yeah, live, we can see Faker will be able to kill the Gwen.
All right, I take back, they do get the cross map.
There we go.
Shield goes down.
Little bit delayed, but
5 minutes bot for DK if they end up having a bad mid-game fight, which...
We'll have to see what the soul is going. Could be a decent one.
It'll be a trade, so maybe not too big, but it does mean that they ensure that...
I mean, it's only going to be about 400, 500 or something like that. I feel like we need history to mean something.
Is Doran in trouble?
Well, yes, he's going to have to flash. Heroic Charge is going to come down, though, as Beryl gets inside that brush. That is the Dominus, but he's taking so much damage. Shiu just gets out those scissors, and down goes the Crocodile. 0-3-0.
And the strategy of focusing Doran, to me, makes sense. I think he's been the best performing member.
I've never seen you this dumbfounded, by the way. I looked over at you just after that play, and you were just... What is happening?
I'm shell-shocked.
Terry going to turn up once again. Hook going to go wide.
So the cross map was top line turret. I think Faker doesn't have enough damage to actually take down the inner. No, definitely doesn't this early in the game. So they get Herald, but they give up the kill. And again, the kill going over to the Gwen, I think, is a really big deal because...
Trigger Seas can land, you can get that value.
Now, if T1 gets a big fight here, that could be their way back in. I think they really do need to deny him.
He was fishing for some stacks, and he just gets punished. It's Ona that locks down the kill, and now Faker trying to get that damage down. Showmaker will turn up, and you cannot be doing that. We have to remember that this is still a composition that's on a tightrope, and now the Rift Herald comes up. The outer turret is taken, and T1, they'll claim a gold lead in this game.
Mid gonna go down as well. Can't get hit by that hook. Flash was up for aiming. That's going to be Dragon. That's going to be mid, inner, and outer.
The Rift Herald now just going to be a walking ward, but Beryl comes through, evicts Gumayushi from the fight. Is now Showmaker. Hasn't pressed R yet or anything like that as Doran trying to be a nuisance. Ona will be able to take down the Dragon, but now he's stuck in the pit. The rest of T1 are over the wall. He still has Flash, and he is going to have to use it. And DK unable to stop that Drake from going down, but they do not lose anyone in the process. Still, this game is very close, but T1 showing signs of life now.
The tempo vibes. Yeah, he's flopping, but you have Flash. You cannot get caught by that. If you have to use your Flash there, it feels bad.
Yep.
Obviously, the gold lead for the Trumbull doesn't mean that much as they're here.
This one could be uncomfortable as there is the Feather Storm out. That might be a bridge too far there, Beryl, as he does try to redeem himself, and it does not quite work. As DK now on the run, Daisy getting amongst it as Faker just flashes on top of Lucid. The gravity field is going to stop him, and another hook connects onto the Smolder. And ever since that first hook landed, Showmaker is now fighting against Doran. That's not ever since, but it's a thing that's happening right now as he still has the Undying Rage.
Okay, I don't know about that Flash Doran. That one was a little bit overexcited, but the rest of this...
It's just starting to crumble. Ever since that first mistake, DK had the game with so much control, and now it is just kind of gone as Faker going to walk at Shiu once again. Doran moving over here. Shiu knows it's going to be a real rough time as the gravity field does go down. Beryl here to support though, and Faker just steps a bit too far forward. Doran is definitely dead now as well, as Shiu should be able to chase him down. A little chicken above the head was what Showmaker was offering, but it will be the kill going over to the Gwen. 4-1-0 for the young players. Carrier not able to find that hook, but man, it was close.
And normally I would respond with a onto aiming. That's so much power gone.
Well, Sneeze comes on through here as Lucid not quite able to land the root. Oh, hook sidestepped, even with the slow. Pretty important. Aiming could take some notes. The Strybreaker comes down here from Showmaker. Remember, Faker needs to do a lot of work to make sure that this Tryndamere dies, as he hasn't pressed the R button yet, still hasn't pressed, and then just dies. Okay, that was weird. There's another hook. This time, Beryl is going to be able to avoid it. DK looking for some angles. Oh, the feather pull is fantastic. Ona can just run up, but he's not able to put the kennel down in the right position. Shiu over to the side. He's very scary, but Lucid taking so much damage. Keeper's verdict is that no victors are allowed in this area, and down will go Daisy.
That's going to be Drake, though, for sure. Showmaker, even with the Hex Gates, I don't know if he can make it back. A Shiu?
Oh, man. The needlework doing a fair bit at this point in time, but T1 should be able to get Soul Point off the back of this one.
Has now hit his stacks. And that situation is not going to get better. And yep, it's a T1 Baron, all right.
That's what they're looking for.
But look, they have zero control.
Yeah, there is not a lot of vision opportunities. There's now Faker. Let's see whether this Keeper's Verdict is going to land it. It is going to do so as Beryl gets a big old shield. Heroic charge to try and get him out. But Gumayushi finds the Poppy.
She was there.
Showmaker has to get his way out of there. He flashes away as Daisy going to be going down as well. That's 50 gold in the pocket of Guma.
Got it!
And the hook is going to connect. Down goes the tree. Down goes the Smite as Mom is going to try and make a difference here. Shiu is still very scary. But the Baron, it's going down so incredibly quickly, and they just flap their way out. DK, no answers, and T1 take full control here.
The rest of the team wasn't quite there either. And if you're winning, Blitzcrank feels a hell of a whole lot better.
Oh my god, how did he know?
That's the blind hook.
He's a genius as Carrier getting taken down very low as Ona getting in amongst it. The flash away from Lucid this time around. But he's going to leave Beryl out to dry, and he is definitely dead. Now T1 with Baron and a man advantage. No more split pushing available for Showmaker as he needs to be back defending.
That needs to make the plays. But unfortunately, neither Aiming nor Showmaker in this one thus far has been able to make their mark.
Yeah.
In a positive sense. And we will see if just the idea of this Smolder is going to be enough. The burn is hitting.
I mean, he really does hurt. The problem is they haven't been able to find too much as Beryl goes in once again. Massive AoE, but they haven't finished off the targets. The flash forward from Aiming, that was insane, and not in a good way, as Lucy going to be going down as well. Shiu, can you tidy up the fight? It is now all about you, as Owner is going to get taken down, and Gumayushi holds the Tryndamere in place and says, nope, you're just going to get kited. That is going to be the kill for Faker as well. That's the ace, and that should be the game for T1. It took 5 games, but they remain in the upper bracket, ready for a date with either HLE or with Gen.G. But man, they had to work for it today, and at least we got one hell of a series.
And T1 claims their victory